Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
भगवान श्री योगी रामसूरतकुमार की
जय।
सर्वं योगी रामसूरतकुमारार्पणमस्तु। Today is another holy day, the day of Holy Mother, Sharada Devi. Bhagawan Yogi Ramsuratkumar was very, very fond of her. He used to make me read books on her. And today we have offered Bhagavan's divine namas, the nama lotuses, at his lotus feet. And before we offer our today's prayer, we shall see whatever Bhagavan allows to flow through this. There are many, many things that we have to learn from the life of Holy Mother, Sharada Devi. Her humility, her simplicity, her profundity, and her universal motherhood, her gentleness, everything about her life is a great teaching for all of us, especially the ladies. Just 100 years before. Now, Holy Mother lived up to 1920. I had the great opportunity to visit all those places. At one time, I used to go every year to Calcutta, to Belur Math, to Udbodhan, to Jairam Party, Kamarpukur. If I remember deeply, I won't be able to talk. I will try to say some things about her. Great compassion. In the beginning, we all know that she looked every bit the village lady that she was. There was no occasion to reveal her true identity to people. People know the stories of life of Sri Ramakrishna and Sharada. In the beginning, especially after the master, the great master, dropped his body, people did not take her seriously at all. Even the closest disciples thought she was a village lady. And for nearly 8 months, I think, she had to live in the village in utter poverty. If you read those details, how she lived, there was no rice, there was nothing at all, that at one point she had to pluck some green leaves, and there was not even salt to add to it. And her sari was torn in so many places that she had to tie them up, the ends of the tear, to hide her body. Such was the pathetic condition in which she lived, and she never complained. She had come to show to the world this is how one should live. We know now, no matter how many comforts we have, we always complain and we feel that we need more. Every desire is turning into need. And so there is only discontent. And Holy Mother used to live in a very, very small room, Nahabad, opposite to Sri Ramakrishna's room. It is so small a room, it's like the size of a bathroom, where she would choose one corner to cook for all the disciples who came to meet him. And one could not even stretch fully in that room, but she managed to sleep there. And sometimes Sri Ramakrishna would send devotees, lady devotees. She had to accommodate them. And very early morning, like 3 o'clock, she would get up and go and have a bath in the darkness, the Ganges. And she never complained. That's one thing, the first thing that we learn is, no matter in what circumstances we are thrown by the flow of life, we could always adjust, we could always be simple and humble and accept everything uncomplainingly and live still a divine life, a pure life. The embodiment of purity, simplicity and profundity. Now, after that, slowly people, the disciples especially, Swami Vivekananda, when he had to go to foreign countries on a mission, he came all the way to the place of Sharadamma, prostrated before her and took her blessings and revealed her true divinity to people. I remember reading that during her Jayanti day, in that village, in that small house, she would cook herself, and then people would come and greet her. They would celebrate her birthday, and after which everybody was gone, she would sit and wash the vessels herself. Such was her simplicity. She never questioned the circumstances. She simply accepted everything. This is going with the flow of life, uncomplainingly accepting everything that comes to you, whatever life brings to you, as gift of grace, and go along. I remember another incident when she was in Kolpara, that there was a small dispensary, and people used to come and get medicine free. And then there, the Swamis and Brahmacharis, they observed, even the local rich people, some of them were well-to-do, and they would also come and take medicines freely. And then, when they went and complained to Sharadamma, so accommodative, so large a heart, she said, what if they are rich? when they come and stretch their hand begging for medicine, they are still poor. Give them. Whoever comes and asks. Such is the glory of her large-heartedness. There is an incident when this independence struggle was going on, and people were asked to reject the imported cloth, anything that was imported from foreign countries, and they were burning it. So some of those people, the village ladies, they had a fancy for those foreign cloth, and they bought and came, and then they were scolded, reprimanded by people that you shouldn't do this, you should not buy these things anymore. That was part of the struggle for independence. But mother said, why do you do that? Those foreigners are also my sons. They are my sons and daughters. They are my children. Why do you distinguish like this? Who could answer her? From what state of being she was saying that? And far below, as we live this practical life, how could we answer her? And there is a particular incident, I remember it, I've read long back, that some lady of questionable character had come to place food to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who was highly sensitized. Sharadamma was taking food for Sri Ramakrishna. This lady intervened and begged, Mother, please let me take the food to the master. So she came and placed it. And immediately Ramakrishna jumped and shouted, oh, I cannot take this food. Why did you send her? Sharadamma said, she called me Amma. She is my daughter. She is as much my daughter as anyone else. How could I refuse? These are all glimpses of her divine motherhood. And she would initiate anyone who came and asked her. And after taking initiation, people might not do the japa properly. They would say that they would starve the japamalas. They would not do the japa, the required japa every day. The responsibility is that of gurus. So she would be doing japa all through the day for the sake of those people, initiating them into the mantra and doing mantra for them. There are many, many aspects of Sharadamma. I could go on narrating. I would like to mention particularly how her motherhood, the grace of the Holy Mother, the Universal Mother, keeps flowing even now. When I went to Jaya, after many years, I found a shrine. It's a village shrine, Jaya village. All the ladies, the local ladies would come with their children, and then they would sit in any way they like. They would stretch their legs. The children would be playing, going round and shouting, and some children will be sleeping there. The ladies would sit just as they would sit at home. This is Mother's shrine. And in contrast, the shrine of Sri Ramakrishna, people would be sitting straight backed, eyes closed, very disciplined. I could not help laughing when I saw the contrast between the two shrines. The great sannyasis and brahmacharis would come and sit there in meditation and japa in Sri Ramakrishna's shrine. Everything well organized and disciplined, and Mother's shrine would be just opposite. And that was in the village, Yarambati. When I saw that, I cried. Mother's shrine is so accommodative. It was truly a shrine for all. And I remember another incident that Sri Ramakrishna would tell his sannyasi disciples, he was training them, he would say, eat only one chapati. And then he would go away and she would come and she would put chapati after chapati, 3 or 4, and say, eat. And then they would be so afraid of Sri Ramakrishna because there was deviation from his instructions, and she would say, no, you take this chapati, this is jnana. You take this chapati, you'll get bhakti. And then when Sri Ramakrishna came to know, of course, he initially reacted, but then he laughed and said, yes, truly so. When she gives you something to eat, it is true jnana and bhakti. And he also said, if you do some offense to me, you could still get away with it. But if somebody should offend Sharada, she is Saraswati herself. You will never be forgiven. There is no atonement for it. Such is the glory of the Divine Mother, and there is much, much more to say about her. Her grand, great, large-heartedness. Even now, I remember in middle 80s, I had gone to Udbodhan. And there were many people there upstairs. There is a shrine where she used to keep the photo of Ramakrishna and worshipped. And the room where she used to lie down. And outside the veranda, the balcony, there were people, many people, the devotees, ladies and gents, they were all sitting and singing and all that. And very near the railing that was kept near the room, there was a box, a glass box, containing her footprints. Now from this side, I was trying to stretch my hands across to touch that, the footprints of Sharadama. I tried so many times, there was always 1 inch difference. I could not reach out. 4 times or 5 times I tried and I burst out into tears. I said, Ma, I have come to you all the way and alone from Chennai, and I am unable to touch your feet. I burst into tears, and within minutes, one Swamiji called me. He said, where are you from? I said, I'm from the south, from Chennai. I saw you struggling to touch her feet. You wait till the others go, he said. And then after the crowd cleared, there were only a few people. He brought some Ganges water and then sprinkled it upon me, and then he opened the room and he said, "You go inside." Here outside I was struggling to reach out and I could not do it. I just appealed to her. I cried out from the heart, "Ma, how can you keep away from me?" And minutes later I found myself entering her room, which was not easily allowed for anybody. And then I could go near her bed. I could go near the photo that she was worshipping. And I had my heart's fill. And then now I could put both my hands on the box which contained the footprints of hers. What a blessing. What grace. This is Sharadamma, even today. She could not stand the tears of people. There is an immediate flow of grace. She is so accommodative. Anybody, anyone, at any level could approach her easily and make a prayer, and you would see how it is fulfilled. And then the Swamiji showed me the bangle that she was wearing, the hair, the relics. So you see, I had a feast that day. So such is Sharadamma's glory, her simplicity, her readiness to serve, and her divinity. Every lady, every Indian woman must remember her universal motherhood, what she stands for, to lead a simple life and be profound in thinking. To Shri Sharadamma, let us offer our infinite grateful pranams that she took avatar and showed to all of us how we could live so such as she was worshipped by Sri Ramakrishna. He did the Shodasi Puja to accept the puja from the hands of someone, a murti like Sri Ramakrishna. What a pure soul she must have been. Just think, a puja offered by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. She could only be the deity, she could only be Kalima. Otherwise, no ordinary being could accept puja from the hands of a murti like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. She took it. And when people in the beginning were neglecting her, would not recognize her for what she was, and even saying that she was a village lady, what did she know? She looked so ordinary, this and that. Shri Sharadananda writes one single line. If Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa has chosen a lady for his partner, How could she anything else be? No ordinary woman could live with him, could do service to him. So, we shall seek her precious blessings on this day, because they say on the Jayanti day of any great soul, there's a constant flow of grace and a very special grace at that. Let us learn to receive, make ourselves worthy of those blessings. Bhagawan was very, very fond of her. He would always say she's the ideal womanhood, Indian ideal of womanhood. Now we shall pray to our Bhagawan. We shall offer our today's prayer at his feet and at Sharadamma's feet for their immediate divine intervention to save and free the humanity from the clutches of those virulent viruses that attack both the body and the mind. Let us beg Sharadamma on this special day and our Karunamurti Bhagavan for uprooting all the negativities of our mind to lead a simple and profound life, to bless us with the preparation of mind for all. We beg you, Bhagavan, to remember your name constantly, the powerful name constantly, and to be good instruments in your hand so that we too could run our everyday life as an offering to you. And we beg you for that ultimate blessing, for complete purification. You have always said that we should not complain. Bhagavan used to make us sing the song, Kurevandrum illai, Kurevandrum illai. I have no complaints. I have no complaints in life. Meaning, I will accept whatever God gives me through my life. And Sharadamma lived such a life. So we beg you, Bhagavan, for that purification so that we could see, we could get that sense of fulfillment no matter how many complaints are there in life. We could see, we could live still with a sense of fulfillment. That we should be able to see your living, vibrant presence everywhere, in everything, and at all times. We beg you for that preparation of mind to be able to see in all happenings of life your leelas, your will for our betterment. And Bhagavan, most importantly, we beg you to give us that frame of mind, that preparation, to be able to see your hidden grace even in the most disastrous circumstances of life, most devastating sufferings of life. Understand that this was meant for our spiritual growth, for our greater good, so that we would be able to accept it as a blessing, a gift, and be grateful to you, just as you wanted us to be. And finally, for all the species of the cosmos, we have a prayer to make at whatever level they live that they should be freed from the present state of their miseries and be lifted to a higher plane. And we beg you for that eternal living, free of all thoughts, full of ananda, bliss, in you, the eternal entity. Jaya Yogi Ramsuratkumar.